Well, that should do it.
Are you sure? Because I can go on and on.
About how you and Spectra came this close to besting Forrester tonight?
Well, it's like I said before. Tonight was just the beginning. Spectra's only begun to show you what we can do.
Thank you, Thorne.
Thank you.
Beautiful collection.
Thank you.
Thorne, thanks again for hanging around answering some more questions.
My pleasure.
Congratulations.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you. Well done. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
This is exactly how I thought it would be. I'm so thrilled for you.
Love you too. Mind if I speak with your husband for a moment? Alone?
Proud of you.
See you in a minute.
So that's what this is all about?
Hello.
Yeah, two rival design houses going head-to-head on the runway.
I gotta tell you, I was expecting a bit more of a kind of a knockdown, drag-out thing.
It was a fashion showdown, Nick.
I was disappointed in the battle of the fashion heavyweights. Call it what you like.
Well, there was a lot at stake, you know. For Thorne, more than anyone, you know, he was determined to prove himself to everyone in that room, especially my dad and Ridge. I mean, that's why he issued the challenge. That's why we had to step up to the plate and make this happen.
Well, I think the underdog did just fine.
Well, you can't call us the underdog anymore. True, Forrester had more applause, but you have to say that we had one hell of a first showing.
Oh, I think you definitely surprised the competition.
I think they underestimated us. I think everyone did. Except for one handsome sea captain, that is.
Oh, please. I don't know the difference between a box pleat and a box of saltines.
Still, you were impressed with Spectra when I showed it to you the other day, right?
Well, I think everyone was trying to make a good impression.
And you know why? The Jackie M account, which you could steer Spectra's way if you feel so inclined.
You're breathing on my neck. Are you trying to mix business with pleasure? And if you are, what would your father think?
Well, he wouldn't say anything I don't already know. But I'm more interested in what he's thinking and what that means to Thorne.
I thought I'd find you here.
Press gone?
Everyone except Jarrett. He's got Thorne cornered, but that's not surprising. You all right?
Why do you ask?
Well, because you're usually so up after a showing like this.
No, this was much more than a showing, wasn't it? It was,
Turning point? In your relationship with your son?
is that how you see it? A turning point?
Well, before we started, you know I told Thorne I didn't think it was such a good idea. I was really concerned that nothing positive would come out of it. But I was wrong, wasn't I? Wasn't I?
So?
So, congratulations, little brother. You didn't do half bad tonight.
Is that your idea of a compliment?
No, seriously. You held your own and then some.
What you and Dad didn't think I could do.
We thought you were in over your head, yeah.
And I proved that I wasn't, huh? Not that I'd expect you to admit that.
Well, regardless, you did yourself proud.
Yeah. Well, the fashion world's going to be hearing a lot more from me, Ridge.
But not at Spectra Couture.
Excuse me?
Oh, come on, Thorne. You got it out of your system. You did what you had to do. Let's stop all this animosity now for the sake of the family and for the sake of the family business.
Are you... Ridge, are you suggesting that...
Just come back to Forrester. You can work for Dad, work with Dad and me. That's the only way we can set things right around here.
What about all that talk about me being a traitor?
Look, I was angry, all right? I said a bunch of things. I was frustrated. I realized I was being a little hypocritical. I mean, since I was the one that actually declared war on Forrester a little while ago, if you remember. But that didn't prevent Dad from letting me come back.
And you're willing to do the same for me. There's more to what you're saying here, Ridge. Maybe more than you even realize.
The point is, if you come back to Forrester now,
I give up my chance to make my mark, to redefine a fashion house and to take it to the top.
Thorne, it takes more than a handful of designs to define a fashion house, you know? With the current marketplace the way it is.
You know what, Ridge? Save me the lesson on Business 101, okay? I know this is not going to be a cakewalk, but tonight, coming this close, I'm committed to this, Ridge. And any thought of me going back to that dungeon at Forrester Creations, it's not gonna happen. Not in this lifetime.
The bottom line is you got a screwed up family. But you seem to be a lot chummier with Thorne than what's his name. You like him more?
I feel the same way I always have. I love Ridge. It doesn't mean I wouldn't want to give him a swift kick in the... You know, I just don't understand. Why could he just not, after the show, go up to Thorne, shake his hand, and say, "Good job, little brother, well done"?
Well, maybe he already has. The important thing's your father. He seemed impressed.
Yeah, not only with the line. I mean, something happened when my father got up there on that stage with Thorne. Something I wasn't sure that I would ever see.
I was worried too, how things would turn out, especially if Thorne didn't do well.
But now that he has.
It changes things in a wonderful way. Or at least it should.
Darla.
Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt you two. They got so crazy after the showing, Eric, I didn't have a chance to thank you.
For what?
For those final moments on stage, what you said to Thorne, embracing him the way you did. You'll probably never know how significant that was to him, Eric. Or maybe you do. Maybe it was just as significant for you.
Thorne, no one wants to put you back in any dungeon. I'm just saying.
That I shouldn't get ahead of myself, right? Because I haven't proved that I can land the big accounts, the big players, say like Jackie M.
Hey, it's a tough world out there. All the fashion houses from here to Paris will be gunning for you. They'll be trying to cut you off at the knees so you won't become a contender.
And you'll be leading the pack, is that it?
Well, you wouldn't want Forrester to go easy on you, would you?
If you have to ask that question, Ridge, you really don't get what this is about. Look, I know you. And despite what you would like me to believe, this warm and fuzzy feeling you're sending, I think you're threatened.
What?
After all these years of putting me down, dismissing all the ideas that I had to offer, you saw what everybody else saw in this room tonight, that I have what it takes to be a major player in this business. Maybe even outshine you someday, Ridge. And you want to put me back in my place just as fast as you can.
Thorne, I really do miss you. Is that so hard to believe?
You miss the way things were, Ridge. You miss being the undisputed champ. Things changed here tonight. You know what? You can't imagine what it felt like to have Dad walk up to me on that stage tonight and look me in the eye with tears in his eyes and say what he had to say. That he finally saw my potential and he acknowledged it. Ridge, you had that your whole life. Even when you weren't at Forrester, the focus was still on you. But I was on the outside. You know, I hope you never have to feel what that's like.
Help me out here, because I think I might have missed something along the way.
What, you mean when my father was up on stage with Thorne?
Yeah. Why was that such a big deal?
Well, because it was something that should have happened a long time ago. But it couldn't because of Ridge. I mean, Ridge has always been number one in my father's eyes. Only tonight, for the first time, my father opened his eyes to Thorne. And he recognized how much Thorne is capable of.
No. What you're both capable of.
I can't help wonder, though, if it will last. You know, or was my father just getting caught up in the moment? You know, I mean, are we going to wake up tomorrow and Ridge is going to be front and center again and Thorne and I are going to be on the sidelines? Just the way it's always been.
Where's everyone?
If you mean your mom and dad, they went to find Thorne.
Why?
You know, I don't know. Darla was here and...
Oh, Darla. She probably took him back to the showroom so they can ooh and ah over Thorne's triumph some more.
Come on, Ridge. Be honest. Don't tell me you didn't get a little choked up seeing Thorne and your dad on that runway together.
Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy for my little brother. He managed to pull together a few nice designs. But everyone knows my father's and my designs stole the show.
Yeah, and thank goodness, or else, I don't know, maybe Eric might have jumped ship and joined Thorne over at Spectra.
Oh, that's very cute. Very cute. Like Dad would ever leave Forrester or break up the winning team, right? Besides, everybody knows we've never been closer. And nothing or no one can ever come between us.
You gotta know that took one hell of a nerve.
Challenging Forrester?
Challenging me. Your father. On my own runway, no less. But then I guess maybe I had it coming.
You mean the conversation we had in the office the other day?
Yes. Yes, I do. A lot of that was pretty hard for me to hear. But I heard you. Now I want you to hear me. I wasn't expecting any of what I saw here tonight on this stage. I thought that you were going to be disappointed once again. I thought that I was going to be disappointed for you. I've always underestimated you, haven't I? I never saw in you what you saw in yourself, which was a man who, given half the chance, could accomplish anything. You set his mind to. But that's why you issued this challenge, isn't it? I mean, time and time again, you tried to show me that, and time again, I was looking someplace else. I was looking elsewhere. I was looking at another son who... How does a father apologize for that? How the hell am I going to be able to tell you how sorry I am? But that's not what you're looking for, is it? An apology. What you're looking for is what you've tried to get so hard, you've fought so hard to get from me all these years, and you never have, and that's my respect. That's what this challenge was all about. Why you tried so hard so that you could finally have your father look you in the eye and say, "You got it, son, you got my respect." Well, you do, Thorne. You do have my respect. because you've earned it. And you deserve it. You always will.
Do you really think that? You really think all this excitement today, the whole buzz, everything just disappears and it goes back to normal?
Well, that's the way it's always been. Ridge front and center. I can't imagine the spotlight shifting to one of the other Forrester siblings. Then again...
Maybe it already has.
Oh, what, my parents' obsession with Ridge is finally over?
Maybe it's headed that way.
I don't know, Nick. My mother has made a career of interfering in Ridge's personal life.
Right. What about your father?
My father has made sure that his number one son has gotten every advantage professionally.
And the rest you just got overlooked.
I don't think that was intentional. But tonight, seeing my father embrace Thorne on that stage, and have him say in front of all of those people how honored he was to be on stage with him, I don't know. Maybe it's possible. You know, maybe Thorne is finally going to get everything that he has so desperately wanted for so many years.
God, Stephanie. Thorne has waited to hear this his entire life.
I know, honey. I know.
Look, Thorne, I'm just realizing now how it's been for you and for your sisters all these years to have me be so preoccupied with Ridge.
Dad, we don't have to...
No, please. Why don't you let me try to... Let me try to say that. I admit to you and to myself that I neglected you. And I admit that I know how and why it happened. I didn't mean to. But that's no excuse. There's no excuse for it. I take full responsibility for it. But that's all over now. This whole thing of favoritism, that's finished now. It's all in the past. You hear me, son? I'm telling you right now, all these feelings of yours of being overlooked, you're never going to have those feelings for me again. Never again. And what I saw on this stage here tonight, everything I saw just proves to me how much you deserve, how much you have always deserved my support and my encouragement and my admiration. God, I just wish it would have happened sooner if I had given you the attention and the time that I gave to Ridge. But that didn't stop you, did it? It just never will. I mean, you showed us so much strength and so much determination and so much talent. My God, I had no idea that you had this kind of talent until now. I love you, son. I love you so much.
I love you too, Dad. I love you too.
My son. Our son. Our only son. Only son. Only son. Only son. Only son. Only son. Only son.